Okay, so I'm going to ask you to find a couple different things about this quadratic right here. And we're going to basically, I'm asking you key things on the graph where we're going to analyze it from an equation point of view. What I'm going to ask you is for a relative max / min. It will not have both. It'll only have one or the other. I'm going to ask you for the domain, the range. I want to ask you, where is it increasing? Whatever. And decreasing. I'm going to ask you for the vertex. And I'm going to ask you for your end behavior. Now, we can go through the process of completing the square and getting this in vertex form. Not terribly bad to do, but it's not the easiest thing for a lot of students to do. So what I'm going to do is I want to keep in mind that my degree of this polynomial is 2 because that's my highest exponent. Then I'm going to think of my leading coefficient. My leading coefficient is -3. Well, if I have a negative leading coefficient and a degree of 2, I know my ends are going down like this. So I already know in this scenario, this graph has got to do something like this. So I'm going to have a maximum. That's an x, not an n. So I'm going to find the relative maximum. And I already know now my end behavior because I can say that as the limit as x approaches -infinity of my function, well, it's going down forever. So it's going to be -infinity. And then the limit as x approaches infinity of my function, well, it's still going down forever. So it's -infinity. My domain, because it's a polynomial, is all real numbers. And that's what I've gotten so far. So now what we need to really do is I need to find this point right here. If I can find the relative max, I'm going to be able to get everything else off of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our old friend, -b divided by 2a, to find my x value. All right, so here we go. I'm going to plug in my a, which is -3. So I've got 2 times -3, and I'm going to divide it by my 48, and then I have my negative in front. This gives me a -48 over -6, which should just simply be 8. So I have an x value of 8. So now what I need to do is I need to do f of 8, which is going to be a big number. So all right, so we're going to be doing f of -8. I've got my calculator pulled up here, but what we're actually doing is we're going to be doing -3 times 8 squared plus 48 times 8 minus 3. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my calculator. Let's see, I've got where? So I've got -3 times 8 squared, which you could just type in 64 if you like. Plus 48 times 8 minus 3. Go ahead and hit enter, and I get 189. All right, so that means my relative max right here, my x value is 8, and my y value I just found at 189. Okay, so let me get rid of my calculator here because I don't need it anymore. All right, so a little erasing, give myself some room to work. All right, so let's talk about the range. Well, my range, I know, is going to start from -infinity because I'm going from the bottom, and I'm going to go all the way up to my highest y value. Well, my range is going to be from -infinity up to my highest y value, which is 189, and we're going to include it. Now, increasing. Well, my graph is kind of doing something like this, and this point right here is 189. So I want to be looking at the x value. So I'm actually, as I'm coming in this way, I'm increasing from -infinity up to 189. And if you remember, we're not going to include the 189 because it's a flat spot. It's not increasing or decreasing. And when I get to the top here, then I go over the top and I'm decreasing from 108, well, from -infinity to, nope, 189 to, what am I doing? X values, James. Same mistake the kids make. These increasing and decreasing needs to be X values, not Y values. The same mistake you kids make. So I'm going from negative infinity. I'm going up to my X value of 8. At 8, I go over the top, and I am decreasing all the way out to infinity. Now, conveniently, in this case, my vertex, when we have a parabola, my vertex is going to be my relative max and relative min, which is going to be 8, 189. So we're going to be doing this for a couple of days. I'm going to be asking you a lot of these questions for you to be doing. You just need to practice it. It's just repetition over and over and over again. The key to finding your vertex on these without shifting it to vertex form is negative b divided by 2a. Hi, I'm Mr. Buzzard, and these videos are supplemental instruction for my students. If you found the video enjoyable, make sure you click the like button and click subscribe, as well as the bell for notifications to receive future videos on high school mathematics.